Ramanuja Vidya Mandir. Students, in this class today, in this session, I am going to discuss the second chapter of microbiology, that is virus. And this chapter is also previously that is discussed in first year, of course in brief. So here we will see some elaborated topics, that is about virus. Let's see, start with first. In this topic, we are going to discuss introduction of virus, introduction. Next comes discovery. That means about scientists, discovery. Next comes morphology. Morphology. That is size and structure of virus. Classification. And multiplication. Multiplication. And lastly, about viral disease. These things are to be discussed. And it cannot be completed in one class, so it will take 2 or 3 classes to complete it. So today I am going to start with the introduction, and probably up to classification I do today. So let's start. Virus, these are the unique group of biological entities, and it can infect every type of organisms. So including fungi, bacteria, algae, some unicellular fungi, that is yeast, human, plants, human, protozoans, so on. So it can infect every type of organism which is present on this earth. So if it infects fungi, the study of fungi is called mycology. So if the virus infects fungi, it is called mycophage. Similarly, if it infects bacteria, it is bacteriophage. Note it down, it is not there in the book. In academic book or not, you will not find it in NCERT also. If it infects algae, phycophage, because study of algae is called phycology, phycophage. If it infects unicellular fungi, that is gynophage. And if it infects plants, phytophage. Phytology, that is study of plants, phytophage. Phyto means plant. And similarly, human and protozoans also it is infecting. And these viruses are causing deadly diseases to human as well as plants and animals also. And if we see the nature of the virus, actually what it is, these are acellular or acellular structure. Acellular, A means not here single. Cell, acellular without cell. They don't have cell. acellular structures. Number 1 point. Note all these points. Acellular structures. These are acellular structure, cannot be seen, or visible in light microscope. Light microscope. Third important point is they cannot perform or they cannot have light processes. Like other organisms having life processes, like that, this virus is not having the regular type of life processes. But genetic continuity is there and mutation takes place. That we are seeing at present, that how this virus is multiplying so fast, and the mutation, the new variant is coming every year. In every 6 months, new variant is coming. That is because mutation. Mutation means the sudden change if occurs in genes, that is called mutation. So, and it changes, and the variant is also causing deadly disease. That thing we are observing nowadays. So, we cannot have other life processes like other organisms, but genetic continuity is there. Genetic continuity is there. And they show mutation. Mutation. Next, these are having nucleic acid. Genetic material is in the form of either RNA or DNA, not both at a time. In a virus particle, in this molecule, or we can say particle, only either DNA is present or RNA is present. That is the nucleic acid. So virus particles are having either RNA or DNA, which is covered by a protein coat. That 2 marks question is there in unit 1. That differentiate between virus and viroid. Jayashree, can you explain me what is virus and what is viroid? Jayashree? Jayashree, Abhya? Jayashree? Difference between virus and viroid?
Ma'am, virus, they are infectious agents which have both protein coat and nucleic acid, whereas
Yes.
viroids don't have nucleic acid. No, don't have protein coat, they have only nucleic acid.
So virus is having both nucleic acid and protein coat, whereas viroid is having only viroid is having only HSV.
Ma'am, only nucleic acid, no protein coat.
Yes, only nucleic acid, protein coat is absent. In some virus, protein coat is absent, and it is having only nucleic acid, that is called viroid. Another thing is there, which is called as prions, PRIONS. Here are some mnemonics if you have. Remember that virus, it is having both nucleic acid and protein coat. Viroid, it is having only nucleic acid. That means that nucleic acid can be DNA R, RNA, and P for prion, that you remember, and P for protein. So some virus do not have nucleic acid, they only have protein code. That type of virus that can also cause deadly disease to animals and humans. So there are 3 types. Earlier we have gone through only 2 types, that is virus and viroid. Here again the 3rd type is prion. Of course, it is not explained in your book, not given in your book, but you have to remember, but because once the neat question is prion, about prion is asked. So PRION, prion, and that means it is having only protein code without nucleic acid. So there are 3 types. So here also I write these are having nucleic acid plus protein code. And this protein code is sometimes it is surrounded, it is covered, or it is enveloped by carbohydrates, lipids, or proteins. This protein code. So it is surrounded. Nucleic acid is there, that is the core material, and it is surrounded by protein code. And protein, and it is also enveloped, it can be enveloped by carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. This thing you have noted, note it down.
Ma'am,
Shall I raise it? Any doubt?
ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it is said that in unfavorable conditions, the virus forms a cyst around itself. Is that related to the protein code?
Wait, I'm switch off. Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, it is said that in unfavorable conditions, a virus creates a cyst around itself. Is that related to the protein code?
No, both. It can be protein coat or sometimes viroid only. That means nucleic acid. We cannot say, it depends upon the disease. Then we can say that this type of virus is having protein coat or nucleic acid. Sometimes they have both and the cyst is formed. So nucleic acid and protein coat both are present in some type of virus, and only sometimes protein coat is present, that is prion, and some virus have nucleic acid only. So having all 3 types of things. Understood? Anushka?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Second very important thing is, these are obligate intracellular parasite. Intracellular parasite. Let's see each word. Let's try to understand each word here. Parasite. Parasite means what? The organism or the here molecule which grows on living organism. They take food, they live on living organism. That is called parasite. That you know. Intracellular. Intracellular means inside the cells of the host. So on which it is attacking. So that is called intracellular, inside the cell of the host. Obligate. Obligate means when these virus particles attack the host, these particles cannot sustain outside the host cell. That means they cannot continue their life cycle outside the host. So they have to propagate, to multiply, to continue their genetic DNA or RNA. They need a host. So they attack the host and they take over the machinery of the host cell, So, and some virus which are deadly, poisonous, they are virulent, so they are toxic. What they do, they destroy completely the host cell, and they cause, they spoil or they destroy or they damage to the host cell, and then only they multiply and then come out. So that type of virus is there. But some they grow with the host cell, and sometimes they cause very little damage also. Such rare, very rarely such type of virus are also present. But mostly these are obligate intracellular parasite. That means they grow and the life cycle continues only in the host cell, and they spoil the host cell. They destroy the host cell. That is the meaning of obligate intracellular parasite. And here, the study of virus is what? Virus study is called virology. Like bacteria study is called bacteriology. Algae, study of algae is called phycology. Study of fungi is called mycology. So these are different types. So study of virus, this is another branch of microorganism. Study of virus is called virology. Now let's see some discoveries. So again, so many scientist names you have to by heart here in this topic also. Every time scientist name is very, very important, students, because they have contributed, they have done such research. So we have to remember those names. And year is not important, but somehow you have to remember the year also. If you remember, it is good. But mostly the name of the scientist is very, very important, and what they discovered or what they contributed, that is very important. So let's see the first step. This virus, since ancient times, we are victimized. Human being is a victimized, and not only we. Some economically important crops, crop plants, and animals are also victimized by this virus. They cause diseases on the animals and plants also. But then, even after the proposition, that means Robert Koch proposed the germ theory of disease, then also people were unable to know, it was unknown completely, that rabies or some viral disease, how it is happening, how it is destroying, and which is the organism which is causing this disease, rabies. And these diseases were not, at that time, it was not known, even after the proposition of Robert Koch theory, the germ theory of disease. But then, in 1802, a Russian scientist, in 1802, a Russian pathologist, that means who study about the disease science. So pathologist, name was Dmitry, remember here, or you can write Dmitry Ivanovsky. He actually, in tobacco mosaic leaf, he was experimenting on tobacco leaves. Suddenly he noticed some patches on the leaves. That is called some yellow, green, dark green, these colored patches he had observed at that time. And that was nothing but mosaic. Mosaic means patches like structure. So that mosaic patches he observed on the tobacco leaves. And when he grind that leaves and the sap was taken, he filtered the sap to know about the organism which is causing the disease. And this was designed the filter was designed for detaining the bacteria actually. So the filter was designed for bacteria. So bacteria remained outside the filter and the sap passed from the filter. But when this sap was again injected to the healthy leaves, healthy plant, then also they found that mosaic disease was present on that healthy plant also. It appeared on that healthy plant also. Then he concluded that there is another infectious agent is present, which is filterable. That means it can filter, it can pass through that, which can retain bacteria. Bacteria cannot pass through that filter from that filter, but there are some agents, there are some infectious things, molecules or particles, which can pass through this filter. So he named that it is filterable agents and it is infectious. After him, by Ivanovsky, another scientist, Martinus Bizerni. Remember all these names. Martinus, or you can say M. Bizerni. I will write full name here. Martinus Bizerni. See, after watching the contagious nature, that it is infecting, it is an infection creating, causing agent, he named it is a contagium vivum fluidum, a Latin. Contagium vivum fluidum. It means contagious living fluid. It is fluid which is causing infection. So these are infectious agent which is causing disease to the healthy plants of tobacco. Another scientist in 1935, see this question comes, that who said that virus particles are contagium vivum fluidum? Then four options are there: Bizerni, Ivanovsky, W.M. Stanley, and Louis Pasteur. Then you have to tick on B. Bizerni said these are contagium vivum fluidum. The next scientist name, who in 1935, W.M. Stanley. He observed that these virus particle, it can be crystallized. So he studied. It was fluid actually. Primarily it was fluid, like as Bizerni and Ivanovsky told, these are filterable and these are fluid like. But then after W.M. Stanley's discovery, he observed that these are can be observed in crystallized form. So crystallization, he concluded that these virus particles could be crystallized. It was, and then he named it TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. The name TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, who gave this name? It was given by W.M. Stanley. Next scientist after W.M. Stanley, next scientist Franklin Conrad. Franklin Conrad. Conrad, C-O-N-R-A-D, Conrad. He discovered that in tobacco mosaic virus, what type of nucleic acid is there? He told that the nucleic acid, either it be either DNA or it should be RNA. So what type of nucleic acid he observed in this tobacco mosaic virus is RNA. So he concluded that RNA is the genetic material. RNA is the genetic material. RNA is the genetic material in TME. See, all these things are very, very important for me. Who concluded or who observed and who told that the genetic material in TME is RNA? And which type of or question can come like this, or it can be asked like, what is the genetic material? Which type of genetic material is found in TMB? So here RNA is found, and either RNA is a genetic material. If you are, and who said it? Who observed it? Frankel Conrad. And who observed the virus in a crystallized form? That is W.M. Stanley. Who first observed it in as and told that these are filterable agents, filterable infectious agent, that is by Ivan Vasky. And who named it that contagium? It is called contagium living fluid or contagium vivum fluidum. That is the scientist name is Weizsäcker. So these four scientists you have to remember in this chapter at least. And there in bacteria, the names were, what are the names? The father of microbiology. Not only listening, you have to answer the
Anton
question.
von Leeuwenhoek, ma'am.
Anton
Anton von
van
Leeuwenhoek.
Leeuwenhoek, father of microbiology. Father of bacteria.
Ma'am, father of bacteriology.
Bacteriology.
Louis Pasteur.
Who proposed the pasteurization, developed the pasteurization and vaccination?
Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur.
Yes. Next scientist,
And
Robert.
germ theory was proposed by Robert Koch.
Good. Ehrenberg.
Gave the term bacteria.
Very good. Very good. Next thing, which we are going to talk about, the genetic material. Genetic material is actually in the structure of virus. In that virus particle, virus molecule, we will see only nucleic acid, that is called core. The core genetic material is and now we are fed up with coronavirus. We cannot go out. It is really frustrating. Core genetic material is nucleic acid. And that nucleic acid can be, what it can be? Anushka? Anushka, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
The nucleic acid can be what? Jayashree, Bhavya, Yashasvi. The nucleic acid can be what? Here. Either DNA or RNA. That means you are not listening. Nucleic acid can be either DNA or RNA. Only one. If DNA is present, then RNA will not be there. If RNA will be there, DNA will be not there. So either only one type of nucleic acid is present in the virus particle. Suppose it is TMB only RNA, single stranded RNA is present. If it is bacteriophage, that means the virus which is going to attack bacteria, that bacteriophage is having double-stranded DNA. So it depends upon the virus particle, the virus type, that is, it is having RNA or DNA. But the core genetic material, that is nucleic acid, and that nucleic acid can be DNA or RNA. So RNA and DNA, either RNA or DNA present, and this nucleic acid is surrounded by protein coat. Protein coat. Now see, what is this protein coat called? This protein coat will surround this nucleic acid. It is known as capsid. Try to understand. This protein coat is known as capsid. The protein coat is called capsid. And this capsid is made up of so many units, not of a single unit. It is not made up of a single unit. It is made up of several units. So many units are present. Like this wall is made up of so many bricks. We only see the wall. We don't know how many bricks are used in this wall. Not we can see the cement or the sand which is used in this wall. But the wall is made up of several things. Similarly, the protein coat is also made of small units. The units bricks, like bricks. So these units are called capsomeres. Capsomeres, capsomeres. Now I think you understood that what is virus particle is having. It is having a nucleic acid. A very two things you have to remember. So a nucleic acid is there and a protein coat, which is a nucleic acid is surrounded by protein coat. In majority, almost all the virus. Otherwise, some virus have only a nucleic acid or some having only protein coat. Leave that part. Generally, nucleic acid and protein coat is present, and protein coat is known as capsid. And this capsid, the units are present, which is called capsomeres. And if we come to we see here, either DNA or RNA present. DNA is either double-stranded, DS, double-stranded DNA, or single-stranded, SS. Sometimes single-stranded DNA is also present. Double-stranded or single-stranded. RNA is single-stranded. Rarely DS. So here we see double-stranded DNA. This type of dsDNA is seen in animal virus. That means the virus which attacks animals, they have double-stranded DNA. And the virus which attacks plants have single-stranded RNA. So ssRNA is observed in plants and dsDNA is seen in virus. Oh, hope you understood. Note it down. Note it down first. Over.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, double-stranded RNA is present?
Huh?
Double-stranded RNA.
Rarely.
Ma'am, it is present in which virus?
Actually, RNA generally is present in plants. Plants only have RNA structures. So rarely, sometimes double-stranded RNA is also observed.
Okay, ma'am.
In plants only.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And the double-strand, earlier so many examples were given: cauliflower mosaic virus, single-stranded RNA, turnip mosaic virus, and the tobacco mosaic virus. These names were given in the book, but now it was excluded because it is not necessary. To remember so many names. And next class we will discuss about the disease, then we'll go through it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And similarly, some animal virus like bacteria virus, they have double-stranded DNA. So there are different types. Even now it is over. Mad cow disease, spindle tuber disease in potato. This we have seen. A potato is also having RNA. Next comes classification. Bhavya, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Chinmay present or not? Chinmay? Chinmay,
Ma'am.
Chinmay, you are not present?
Yes, ma'am.
Then answer my question. What is ICBM?
International Code of Botanical Nomenclature.
International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. And what is it means?
Ma'am.
That means nomenclature is dependent upon this. The names of the plants were given on following this. That is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. Similarly, here ICTV. ICTV, International Committee, not code, committee. International Committee on Taxonomy. Taxonomy, that is, taxonomy is what? Classification, nomenclature, identification, nomenclature, and classification. So, taxonomy of virus. That is called ICTV, International Committee on Taxonomy of Virus. This committee regulates the norms of nomenclature and classification of virus. Nomenclature and classification. And do you remember the hierarchical level of classification of plant or animal organisms? Anyone? The hierarchical level? The basic is species.
Species.
Genus, then family, then
Order.
order.
Ma'am, genus. Ma'am.
Families, tell me, family.
Species, genus, family, order, class,
Yes.
and kingdom.
Kingdom. So these are the hierarchical levels, and we do in classification of plants or animals. So, but here, see, this International Committee on Taxonomy of Virus, they regulate the nomenclature and classification of virus. And according to this, there are 3 hierarchical levels, only 3 levels. And the 3 levels are family, genus, and species. Family, genus, and species. 3 levels. There are 3 hierarchical levels in virus. One is family, second is genus, and third is species. I will write SES only for species. So there are 3 hierarchical levels. And how they are classified, we'll see. Suppose AIDS. And can you tell me the full form of AIDS? AIDS. Acquired
Acquired
Acquired immunodeficiency.
immunodeficiencies.
That means immune deficiency occurs when this virus attacks. So, AIDS virus, how this virus is classified, that is given in your academic book. So we will not go for other virus like cancer virus, rabies virus, coronavirus, which cause the respiratory disorders. So there are number of viruses which cause deadly disease, but we are not going through all the classification of all the virus. Only one type is given, that is AIDS, and that disease nature is HIV. HIV full form, do you know? Human immunodeficient virus. HIV. In human, it causes immune deficiency. That is the nature of the disease. When that virus, AIDS virus attack, it causes immune deficiency. So we cannot, if we are caught by fever or anything, we cannot recover so fast. Or sometimes we cannot recover. The patient cannot recover because less immune system, less immunity is there in his body and he cannot able to recover. So that type is called human immune deficiency problem, or this is by virus or HIV. And the family of this H virus suffix, every time we will write in whenever we write about family, viridi is written, IVD should be written. So retroviridi, retroviridi. And the genus name is lentivirus. Lentivirus. And the species is HIV. The nature of the disease, here we write, and the lenti and suffix is virus for genus, and the retroviridi, viridi, we add suffix viridi, where, and the retro is, this is the family of AIDS virus. Anushka, you understood? Anushka?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I know you are searching, you are looking in your book. Where is it is given? So see, you concentrate on this book. Just 1 minute. Next is structure. Structure, if you see, there are 4 measures. And the size ranges, I have to complete this in 2 minutes. So firstly, I am going to complete. Tomorrow I will discuss more because it is already 9:28, 2 minutes left. So structure, if we see, the largest is 300 nanometer. 300 nanometer. That is bacteriophage. No, sorry, TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. 300 nanometer in size, and the smallest is 20 nanometer. That is parvovirus, smallest. So its size ranges from 300 nanometer to 20 nanometer in length. It is length not given in the book, but it is length only. Diameter is different. Parvovirus. Parvovirus size is 20 nanometer and TMV size is 300 nanometer. TMV, the structure of the TMV, will further discuss it, the diameter, the width and everything. But this is the largest virus and this is the smallest one, 20 nanometer. And morphologically, the structure is of 4 types. One is called helical virus. Helical virus. Number 1. Number 2, polyhedral. Polyhedral. Number 3, envelope. Envelope. And number 4, complex type. Complex type. So, sorry students, time is up. So I have to stop it here only. Tomorrow we are going to discuss from this topic, structure of the virus. So it will take 2 to 3 days. Tomorrow I don't think that tomorrow it will be completed. A day after that it may be completed because the other multiplication and viral disease also we have to go through. So till that, take care of, how are you at home? Doing well?
Yes, ma'am.
Take care of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.